to the ScamSlam channel. I'm here to bring you content from both shady and some not so shady individuals on TikTok. Ever scrolled through your For You page and come across a sketchy scam or a questionable character? Well, you're not alone, and that's where I come in. On this channel, I'll be diving deep into the world of TikTok to expose scams, scammers, and problematic content to steer clear of. From beggars, scammers, fakers, liars, abusers, and awareness creators that you watch, I'll be here to share it all. I'll be doing it all through showing live streams and adding in comments where appropriate. Be sure to look out for those red flags. So if you want to stay informed on what's really going on in the world of TikTok, then hit that subscribe button and join me on this wild ride. Let's expose the truth together, and reminder, don't send money to anyone on TikTok.
Welcome in, everybody. Kitty. Conversation. Welcome in, everybody. I have to put Kitty's food up here because Ruby will eat it, and if Ruby eats her cat food, she gets tummy troubles. So. Pretty kitty. Thank you. Hey, everybody. Welcome in, Crystal, Breezy B. Big Tam, hello. Tracy, hello. Andrea, how are ya? Kool-Aid in the house. ScamSlam girl. Rachel, welcome in. Jay, Grandma, Caroline, how are you, Caroline? I don't feel like I've seen your ass for a while. Sassy, hope you're feeling well. I've been following you there on Discord. Sounds like you are on the mend, thank God. Becky, how are you? Absolutely blast from the past. Best generation of music. I could be really vile and give you a butt view of my cat, but I'm not going to do that. Okay, let's get down to business here. Okay. I am absolutely numb. Look at I can't even freaking smile. Had some dental work done today. I can't feel shit all over this way, as you could tell. Yeah, it's not going to do anything. But, and as tradition in my household, I need to drink a glass of water because my wife is usually around when I get home. And when she's around, she is literally waiting in the kitchen with a glass of water, ready for me to drink it, so I make a fool out of myself. And she likes that. So, yeah. So here's this goes out for her. So let's see how it goes. Yeah. Yeah, there's a little. Oh my God, great song. Let's try this again. Not terrible. Yeah, I'll have to share that with her. Oh, Howard Jones, great tune. So, my kitchen is in shambles right now because let me turn my camera around here. So I gotta grab the tile that I replaced, these, and had a couple tiles here that I don't know what the hell happened. The wood is so dry, it's like the glue just popped right off. And I have this one here This is like the predominant one where everybody lands when they get down off the kitchen level. So I'm going to be doing that today. Some low impact stuff. Well, my kitchen is in shambles. I got stuff all over the place. There's dishes in the dishwasher. So I'll be doing that today as we kind of move around. So I went to the dentist, and people with anxiety. Oh, God, I can't even watch myself talk. People with anxiety, going to a dentist is not great because you're literally stuck in a chair. You don't know how long you're going to be stuck in a chair. And chances are there's going to be some pain. And the last time I went to the dentist, I had to have a permanent crown put in. Hi, Aubie. So my dentist says to me, I'm going to numb you up a little just in case there's some, you're uncomfortable. So I'm like, okay. So he numbed me up, and he started taking the permanent or the temporary off, and it hurt. It was bothering one of the teeth next to me, and I flinched, and he's like, "Oh, does that hurt?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I wouldn't have flinched otherwise, So he's like, "Well, let me give you a little more," and then he's like, "Nah, this isn't gonna hurt. This is gonna go quick," and I'm like. So, of course, he starts putting the damn thing on. Hey, Tequila. And, like, it was painful as hell. And I kept flinching. He's like, oh, we're almost done. And I'm like, and 15 minutes later, finally, I'm done. I was pissed because, for a lot of people, if you have a bad experience at a dentist, you never want to go back there again, So this time around I go, and, they did the x-rays and all that, and they said, yeah, you might have to get a root canal, you might be able to save it with a crown and all that. So he's like, well, I want to check to see, hey mates, I want to check to see if we can save it, I'm like, okay. So, I'm laying there, do. And then all of a sudden he comes over with the fucking lidocaine harpoon. Okay? And we know it is a goddamn harpoon. I'm sorry about my language. And he starts coming in my face with it. I'm like, whoa. I said, how about some of that gel that numbs it when you put the harpoon in? Oh, well, yeah, that stuff doesn't do much. I said, well, if it doesn't do much, why is it offered? So he's like, okay. I mean, it's like, I do feel like sometimes it's just like a, it's like what is it called? Forgot the word. But it's like they have so many people in there, and it's like they got to move things quickly and this and that. But long story short, everything went fine. Have a temporary crown in, and I just look like an idiot when I'm, talking right now, and I'm okay with that. So, another good song. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm glad this is over because I really, I'm not a big fan of going to the dentist. So, we shall see. Of course, especially if I have to say, my wife's insurance is good. We get, obviously free dental cleanings. We get free x-rays. We get free fillings and stuff like that. And for everything else, the root canals, all that stuff, they cover 50%. So it's not bad. But, we have, through being a teacher, you can open up an HSA, which I know you can do in a lot of other fields. And it's a health security account. And what happens is they take the money out of your paycheck, and it's tax-free. It's taken out before, they issue the check. So you end up saving a lot of money, and you pay for that for things that insurance doesn't cover, and it works out well. But for so many years, we didn't have money in there because it seemed like every 6 months my son was breaking something because of sports. I mean, Jesus, he fractured his arm, he fractured his wrist, he fractured his thumb, then it was broken thumb, and it was just like constant going to, just going to orthopedist the whole time. So we never had money, and it's like now there's so much money in the health savings account. You know, after the dentist says what they have to do, the business person will come in, you know, and drop the bad news on you about how much it's going to cost. And I'm like, yeah, just do it. I mean, I need to get this done. So it was taken care of, and that's my story. That's my story, and I'm sticking with it. So, hi Rose, welcome in. Scam, why don't you come up? Because there is definitely something I want to talk about today. You know, I'm just. This is not my story to tell. And I'm bringing Scam up for a reason.
Hello.
Hey, Scam. Let me turn the music down low. What Scam is going to talk about today, and you know, this is a good lesson on what happens when you spread lies about somebody. You know, I'm not coming from a position of hate because, you know, this is not, this doesn't concern me. This is something with Scam and another creator on here. You know, it just bothers me because, again, this is an indication of what happens when you start a lie and you don't take accountability for it, and it goes on and on and on, and it's been about 2 years now. So, Scam, you wanna kind of give a background and all that?
Yeah, so I was invited into a live yesterday by a couple of people, and at first I couldn't get in because we weren't following each other or something. I didn't even know whose live it was because it said account not found, and it was T's live. And so I didn't know what it was about or anything. And so I went into T's live, and she had a screenshot up on the screen that of something that was posted on that Tangled Web of Lies or whatever page.
Yep.
I hadn't even seen the post. I think I might have that account blocked. I'm not even sure because now that I have my new account, I'm still trying to block who I need to block and all of that, but I hadn't seen it.
Scam, that Tangled Webs account, in my opinion, it's just a freaking hate account.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, I think I had it I think I had it blocked before, but again, since I'm rebuilding my account, I'm still trying to follow everybody that I was following before and block the same people that I had blocked before and all of that, and it's been a challenge. So, anyway, I hadn't seen the post, so I didn't know what any of it was about. It said something about let me see. I can look at exactly what it said because I don't want to misquote
Right.
what's being said. Hold on here. Give me a moment. I should have been more prepared here, but so yeah, I didn't know what it was about at all. Get that. So it said, surprise. Imagine creating a made up story with your bestie to harm the rep, meaning reputation, of a creator that you are now cool with. Imagine not having receipts about the story or something like that. Right, T. It's time to let it be known. And I had no idea what that meant. or how it applied to me
Right.
at
Right.
all. So T admitted that that whole story about the glitter bomb injuring her neighbor, the little
Her
girl,
neighbor's kid, yeah.
yes, that was all made up. She
Oh.
said that it was Dora's idea and that she knew about it. So it was Dora and T, and she said Rem knew about it and someone else. I think she said Lady Di or something.
Lady Day? Was it Lady Day or Lady Di?
I don't know.
Lady Di,
Maybe
I'm sure.
somebody. I don't know. I don't know.
It
Maybe
had to have
somebody
been
can correct
Lady
that.
Di.
Okay. I don't know. Maybe somebody can
No,
confirm.
Lady Day was never. I don't think she was ever with them. So.
Yeah. Yeah, Retina. Well, both is true. Um, she I was just in the chat while she was saying this stuff at first, and then I said, "Well, I would like to also know who faked that receipt, because for a while there was a receipt circulating around."
Which was bullshit. And I remember you and I talked about it.
Yes, we
And you
did.
said, that's not even my credit card number.
No. There it was a receipt supposedly for whatever purchase, and one of my email addresses was on it.
And
And
it was an old one, wasn't it?
yeah. And there was like a partial credit card number on it. And I had said, when you had asked me about it, Scammy, I was like, I don't have any credit or debit card number that has any of those numbers. I said, yes, that's my email, but I've never ordered this. I don't have anything like that in my email inbox, because I've checked to make sure that I didn't get emailed it somehow.
Right.
Like I don't have any linkage to that at all. And T explained that receipt came from Florida Man, and then
What?
yeah,
What?
the receipt originated from Florida Man and then was given to Rem, and then Rem gave it to T, and then T was putting it out as a receipt.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry if I said that it was you, Lady Di. I don't remember. Like I was just shocked that I don't know
Day,
who.
I didn't think it was you. That's why I said it has to be Lady Di.
Well, wait, no, Lady Di is here in the chat. I don't know.
Lady Di.
She requested a box.
Oh, okay. I don't think it was Lady Day. I don't know.
I don't know.
What up, girl?
I don't do anything on the back end. I talk to everybody. I listen to everybody. It was not me. I've never talked to T on the back end. I'm not in any discords with her. None of that. So I don't want my name associated with it. There is another Lady Di on the app, but it was not me.
Thank you for clearing it up. I appreciate that. Thank you.
There's lots of people with similar names. It's kind of like how breezies get confused too. So
well, that's why I have original on my name, because there is another one out here that does start shit, but I'm not that one.
Okay, well, listen, I'm sorry that we brought your name up, and I appreciate you coming up here and clearing that up. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we are sorry.
Yeah. They're saying it's a different Lady Di, so I don't know. So yeah, I mean, basically this, they came up with this story. I tried to kind of figure out why. The explanation that I recall them giving was something like, well, they thought that if they came up with this story where a child got injured, it would make someone feel kind of like empathetic, and whoever did it would end up coming forward,
Right.
and it would cause them to figure out who actually did it. But the issue was that, I mean, I was being blamed for it pretty much the whole damn time.
And you know, again, and
Um,
that's why Scam, I wanted to bring this up, because there have been people on this app that all they do is spread lies and misinformation. And when that happens, it tends to snowball. And how I mean that is that information is put out. So now people are putting you as somebody that does sneaky shit like that. And not only did you do it, but you hurt a kid. And when anybody hears that somebody hurt a kid, that's to one of the worst levels you can ever do something. But not only that, people went with that story for a long time. And that was another added story to your past that people kept pushing to say why you were a bad person. And this incident, I remember, happened about 2 years ago. And I also know that they were trying to put you out as being Pizza Slayer at the same time. And I'm glad, listen, I'm glad, and you and I messaged about this. I'm glad T came forward and took accountability, because that's
yeah,
what we always talk
and
about,
I
right?
told her that too. I said, "Look, I'm at least glad that you came forward," and she apologized.
Mhm.
And I told her I accepted her apology, so I'm not here to put her through the ringer or anything like
Absolutely.
that. Um,
Absolutely.
that's not what I'm trying to do. I accepted her apology. I told her that going forward that I've been trying to really um just move past a lot of the horrible
Yes.
things that happened in the past, and I've been trying to get along with everyone and
Yep.
give grace to people who
Yes.
have made mistakes
Yes.
and all of that. But was I bothered and upset by it?
Yeah.
Yes, very much so. Very much
Well,
so.
because again,
Um,
it was a lie that was going around for over 2 years, and
yeah, people were running around saying that I injured a child.
right. And I'm glad it was cleared up, and as we said, um you can forgive people, absolutely. I mean, there's people that you have done some shitty stuff to me and to you, and you have two choices. You can accept an apology if one is given, and then from that point you do what you feel comfortable with. And there's absolutely forgiving, but unfortunately it's something you will not forget.
Right. Right. And again, I really do.
It was a lie. It
I
was a lie, Ratina. Yeah.
I really do forgive her. I told her that I'm not holding any grudges over it. So I am 100% not here to bash her and make, and I'm not going to keep bringing it up. I don't want to
No,
keep
no,
bringing it up or
exactly.
anything like that.
And
Um
again,
I have no interest in doing that whatsoever
yeah.
at all.
And same thing with me. The only reason why I wanted to do this was because I wanted to make sure many people heard about it, um, because again, this was something that has been put out there in the universe that keeps coming back. I haven't heard anything about it for a while, but damn well at some point somebody's going to go live again and talk about you and bring up this whole fake glitter bomb thing.
Well,
Now the question is this.
she said she did get a glitter bomb,
Okay.
but that she had opened it up outside and
Okay.
nobody was injured or anything like that.
So
That's
then the question is now, who really did it? I mean, at this point, it's so old. Who really cares? But I mean, I have my guesses. We won't put them out here. But but again, the whole point I wanted to make with this is it is dangerous putting false information out there because it is something that's going to stick with somebody while they are on TikTok, and it's going to keep coming up over and over again unless it's set correctly, unless it's cleared up. So I'm glad she did that. I'm glad that you kind of have some peace on that, although you've had to deal with it for a long time. I was not aware that Florida Man was the one who made the receipt, but I'm not surprised because we know he used to make a lot of false receipts. The man was the one who made the receipt, but a lot of false receipts.
People questioned the story. It still kept getting put out there. And again, I do still, no, Florida Man wasn't around when it happened, but he jumped on that and was spreading that too.
He was the time
He was
that this
around right
happened.
after, like that
No,
happened.
he was around before that scam.
Not to me.
Not towards you. No, but he was around doing fuck shit back then.
Oh, yeah. See, I wasn't even aware. But so yeah, I mean, the thing is, T did tell me that there were 3 other people that at least knew about it and were involved in coming up with this whole rumor, lie, whatever it was, and putting it out there. None of them have apologized to me. There's a lot of people that have knowingly spread lies about me too, other lies,
and
since then that have not apologized to me. So again, I do give her credit for having the guts and the balls to admit it and put the truth out and apologize. I really do.
Yep. And that's what do we preach on this? We preach accountability. And she did that, so that's good. It's funny, Scam. I was thinking about this, when I saw the messages this morning. I've known you now for over 2 years. You're one of the first people that I have connected with on this app in terms of you becoming a friend of mine. You and I have had a couple bumps, and that's okay. We've gotten through that. But when people make comments and question stuff like, why are you friends with ScamSlam? She's so terrible. This is exactly why I am. Because there's been so much bullshit put out again about you. And I know that it's not true. And anybody who walks away from somebody based on accusations, based on that dog pile mentality, oh, this person doesn't like them, so I'm going to help them. And then, oh, she did this to me and that to me and this to me. That's why I have stayed friends with you and supported you the whole time, because I could see what was happening, and I can say, this is all bullshit. Scam didn't do this, but unfortunately, the louder voices are usually the ones that are spreading the bullshit, and that's one of the reasons why I never stopped supporting you. As I said, a couple of times here and there, you guys, you and I had some disagreements and some stuff, but we never brought it to the app. We talked about it behind the scenes. We took care of it, and this is why I still consider you one of my dear friends, because of all this stuff. And I know that you have been put through the ringer with it.
And I appreciate that. I appreciate your friendship.
Of course. You would have to do something pretty bad, like kidnap Ruby or something like that.
Where's Ruby at exactly?
Ruby, hide. But yeah, I'm glad that's cleared up. But again, I've said this so many times before. When you hear stuff online, on TikTok, and it's a story, you need to not believe everybody at face value. And that goes for me, that goes for Scam, that goes for everybody. You need to do your research and you need to take into consideration some stuff. Does this person have an axe to grind with the person? Um, why is this coming out now? Why, especially with those receipts, why don't the receipts look authentic? Um, why would she do this? You all have got to do that. And again, with me too, that's why 99.9% of the time, if I say something, I'm going to show something because, in this day and age, I've always felt that way. A lot of people feel like showing receipts. I mean, we do have the receipt queen in here with Retina, but you know, even when you do that, though, there's still going to be people that say, "Oh, it's made up." So you just have to show that credibility is important. And had I known that Florida man made that receipt, that would have been the end of it. That would have been the end of that storyline. Because, as I said, at that point, he was doing some F shit already on this app. And, I had known of him for about 3 months at that point. And I knew that there was something not firing on all cylinders with him. But I'm glad that is something now that has been cleared up. I again tell people to look back at some of the shit that's been said about a lot of people on this app, and I want to talk about the whole Retina thing for a minute too. Look back at that. Look at the sources and where information is coming from, and then look at their breadth of work on this app, and then make an educated decision as to something can be accurate or could it be a little bit, a little bit out there and not right. So, but Scam, I'm glad that it's been cleared up. I hope that gives you a little solace. Again, we ask for people to be held accountable. I'm glad she did that, and you move on.
I
Again,
am too. And
this has
I think,
nothing to do with me. I'm not involved in it at all. My whole point is this is just showing that making lies up about people can be very dangerous. It can affect somebody's persona on social media when they didn't do anything wrong. So,
yeah. And, it's weird because I do question why this Tangled web page brought this out now.
now,
I mean,
somebody probably told her, and from if I had to take a guess based on what I know and taking everything into consideration, it was probably Rem
yeah, I would imagine
because
so, but I don't know.
she's in lives with her, and it's that group of people over there. Dora's not over in that group. T is not over in that group. Rem is over there.
Right, but the post did say that it was to harm my reputation,
Absolutely, we knew that.
and they're saying that I'm cool with her now. I mean, I don't know about cool. I mean, we weren't even following each other on my new account, so I couldn't even get into her live last night. But again,
I
I'm not going to keep discussing it. I'm not going to keep throwing it up in her face.
No,
I'm
no,
not
no,
going to
no.
hold
It ends now.
over it.
It
You
ends
know,
now.
yeah, it
It's
ends
over
now.
with.
But it makes me think that they maybe were putting this out there so that I would hate her or
Exactly.
go after her in some
Right.
way. They maybe were I would some
Right.
way or something. Like I feel like they were like that this is just my thought that they put this post out here knowing it would come back to me and then I would start like I don't know attacking T or something like that.
Right. Well, but
If that
and
was if
that's
that's their
exactly
goal, me and then I would start T or something like that.
right. Well, but
If that's not going to happen. That's not
Right.
going to happen at all. Or that I would start attacking Dora or, whatever, whatever other people were involved. And that's not going to happen either. So
No,
if that
exactly.
was their MO with making that post, that is definitely not going to happen on my end at all. Because then they made another post about it too. So I don't know. But
Yeah. And
I don't
again,
I don't want to be involved in it, and I'm not going after any of them at all. My platform is about exposing beggars and scammers and problematic people like P3DOs and people who abuse animals. Everybody's knows what's going on with that right now, and abuse children and things of that nature. Okay, that's what I do.
Yep. And you know what? I do need a springtime clause. Yes, I'm going to talk to my meme guy about that. But I agree. And scam. That's exactly why it was put out there. No information is put on that webpage other than hateful information to try to get people to go after certain people. And the difference is you're more of an adult than that. I'm trying to be more of an adult, and stepping away from all that. And some people just don't understand that it's okay to just walk away, be adults about something, and that's it. I mean, I think people think you're good with people if you're not trashing on them. You know what I mean? It's like, somebody could be having issues on the app, and you don't go into their lives or whatever, but the fact that you're not trashing them, people think that that means you're okay with them. No, it's called being mature and, knowing what your boundaries are. And, you can coexist on TikTok with people you like, people you don't like. And you can coexist without everything having to be put out in the open.
Absolutely, because they can run their platform and I can run mine. That doesn't mean we need to interact with each other. If I don't want to, anybody can go into anybody's lives that they want to go into, and that's it. I have an issue with very few people on this app other than the people that I told you about. Child abusers, dog abusers, P3DOs, the beggars and scammers. Other than that, there are very few people that I have serious issues with. I mean,
You know what
Florida
cracks
Man's
me
crew,
up?
obviously, still. Like, I'm not going to be, never going to be, associating with any of them, but,
You know what cracks me up, Scam? You and I have been portrayed many times by a handful of creators on this app, saying that we're sympathizers, X, Y, and Z. Um, and you can tell they're people that have not followed you or followed me.
mm-hmm,
Because if people knew how much time we spent tracking Thomas Shields down all over the fucking country,
mm-hmm,
calling police departments from 5 different states. I contacted North Carolina where he had the open warrant because he was an unregistered pedophile.
mm-hmm.
And we tracked him and we called how many police departments telling them about Thomas Shields, his background, and how he is non compliant.
Mm-hmm.
You have put out there so many times, and you've had, lives with where you worked with that organization that
Mm-hmm.
busted these people.
Epic.
You know?
I helped to be responsible for getting a couple guys put in jail in real life, for their interactions on social media.
Yep.
And I've been involved in, and I tried to help as much as I could with the whole Doug situation when he was doing inappropriate things online. I've posted videos about a lot of them on my YouTube, ones that were going live and trying to do inappropriate things. There's a whole, I could give a whole list of them. Look at Mark Russell. I mean,
Oh yeah, he's done.
the coverage on him, and he's
Yeah, he
gone
did a
now.
lot
He's
of
not
coverage.
on TikTok. He hasn't been on TikTok. He's tried to come back a couple of times, and he's never been successful because nobody is helping that guy, and nobody wants anything to do with him. When he goes live, everybody's calling him out for what he did, and he just can't. He can't even get online. He can't even get on TikTok without getting bashed. So,
Right, Sally? Sally, you remember all that. You were there for that. You
and
know?
I mean, I have in my Discord set up notifications for certain people that I have record of them doing inappropriate things online, and there are notifications set up for whenever they go live, so that our Discord members can go into their live and check to see if they are doing something inappropriate that needs to be reported. I contacted, and I have no shame in this, I contacted New York CPS on a woman who was doing inappropriate things in the same room in front of her child on live stream. And I had to coordinate and send all the videos and proof to New York CPS. Okay? Because she was doing inappropriate things in front of her 4-year-old child.
Yep,
So
I remember
I
that.
worked
And
for Pennsylvania Childline,
and,
where
and
I
the thing
helped
is this.
in the investigation.
Yep,
So
I remember that.
I worked for
And
investigations of
and
any
you know,
type of child
the,
abuse.
the problem is this scam
Like
is that scam people see only what you put out online.
child abuse.
The problem is this see online. People see what I only put out online, and obviously in our Discord, there's a couple other people in there. What I only put out on obviously in our Discord, other people in there that know the things that we're doing behind the scenes. And we choose not to put that out for a plethora of reasons. And it's again, this is when lies are passed, and when opinions are passed as facts, that's when the problems start. And I have done a lot of soul searching, as it sounds like you've been doing, and trying to figure out what is going to make you happy and what's going to make you peaceful inside. Scammy, check Discord messages.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just checked it. Do you want me to say?
I don't know what it is, so you're gonna
It's
have to.
well, it's some good news
Okay,
about our friend.
wait. I'm thinking. I know what it is. Can I guess?
I'm sending it to you telepathically right now.
I am guessing Mr. Michael Kinney did not get a bail reduction.
Bingo!
Who the fuck would give him a bail? Like, what the hell is he thinking that he's going to get a bail reduction? He's got no place to live. He's been indigent for how many years? He's been doing fuck shit. He ran from a warrant. He's got nobody in Florida. He's proven that he is not above cutting an ankle bracelet off. And he really thought that he was going to get a bail reduction. Fucking joke. And this is a shout out to my buddy Bougie and all the other people and my favorite, all the things, Pam, who have been saying this whole time, oh, he's going to be out in 48 hours. Oh, nobody gives a shit about him. The police aren't looking for him right now. Oh, well, he didn't do anything wrong. It was a setup. F you, F your family, F your pets, and suck a large bag of men's genitalia because you're wrong. Again, Again, look at that. Okay, we've been saying one thing for so long. They've been saying one thing for so long. Who is fucking right again? Open your eyes, people. Open your eyes.
Well,
Stop being a fucking sheep.
I have a message to add to that. The owner of Swamped Collectibles says that the motion was denied without him even having to speak. It didn't even get that far. Because he could have spoke against it. He could have, requested against it and, talked about the impact that it had upon him and his business and requested that it be denied. But
Right.
he didn't even get a chance to speak because it was denied before it even got to that point for him to give any input.
And, if I'm not mistaken, the judge is a female.
Well, is it a female in Florida?
I think it is Janine somebody.
Okay.
Janine somebody was on the docket to preside over that.
Man, that's awesome. He had a female judge in Indiana for my protection order hearing. Then he had a female judge in Arizona, and now a female judge in Florida. Really? Wow.
Well, listen, in my heart of hearts, I knew that was going to be the case. He's claiming the reason why he wanted a bail reduction is because he's claiming he's indigent. Well, guess what, Mike? You're indigent because of your own fucking actions. You're the one that has a criminal past. You're the one that was on the run. So obviously you couldn't really work, which means you had made no money. And you got into that position because of the crime you did. And yes, it's a crime he did. And do you think if Florida had any idea that he might not be guilty and he might be a decent person, that we can let him out and all that? Well, your answer has been, it's been answered today. He's not. And because of that, he is exactly where he belongs. And he's not going to get out. Now, I saw something, and if Remote is still in here, I saw something where his initial court date was now canceled. The April 5th or April 10th or whatever it was. Am I accurate with that? I'm correct with that. Now, is that because he's claiming he's innocent? He put in a plea as not guilty, right? Yes. Jesus Christ. Well, listen, Mr. Kinney is going to have some serious issues now. If he had turned himself in when the warrant was put out there, he would have had a lot more bargaining chips, because it would have shown that he was, as decent as he possibly could be. That he appeared, he turned himself in. He could have gotten a lawyer at that point, and he probably would have had more wiggle room to accept a plea deal. Now that he's in Florida and he had to be caught by, marshals and extradited, that's a strike. The fact that the state had to put out a lot of money to get him back to Florida. Number two, the fact that he's still going on the theory that he's not guilty, that's going to be another problem. So I'm thinking that what may have only been a couple years to maybe 5 in prison, incarcerated, I think that that's going to be higher now because, he's not admitting what he did and he ran from it. So, if people are filling his head with information, and I think somebody like Snark, who has made a lot of comments about Mike and, saying that, she has proof and information that she's going to send his lawyer about what I don't know. because to me it's pretty cut and dry. People like her, I hope she's not feeding him some, some false information that if he does X, Y, and Z, he's going to be okay. Pleading not guilty means not guilty plea doesn't mean he's claiming innocence. It just speeds up the process. Okay, thank you. Thank you for clearing that up. I just think that, it could have been handled better. He was one of the ones that I know was vocal saying, when it came out that SP had an open warrant, that, she should be taking care of that. And, and then when it comes to him, of course, because it's do as I say, not as I do, he's on the run. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm interested to see when the next court date is going to be, and what happens. And, I am going to, if it goes to trial, my plan is to go down there. I want to be there. I want to be in the gallery. I want to be in a seat. I want to be in that courtroom. And I want to watch the whole thing. And, hopefully it turns out that he's going to be in there for many, many years. And it's like, at that point, I think so many people, I mean, we're all like, I have felt, and I'm sure many people on this app, I have felt an enormous sense of peace since he's been off here. And I think hearing a judge and a jury finding him guilty, and hearing that he's going to be incarcerated for, let's say, 10 years, possibility of parole, in 6 or 7, based on good behavior, whatever, time served. That's when I think many people on TikTok will finally have that final sigh of relief. For people who are just coming into, I'm talking funny because I am numb. I had a temporary crown put in today, so I'm not drunk. There's nothing medically wrong with me except lidocaine. So, I'm gonna repost an address, and it is to a news agency down in Florida that recently posted the story about Mike being arrested in February. It tells the whole story about, I did drink the water already, you missed it, Pat. I burnt pita bread for everybody. It tells the whole story about what he did to the business, how he was on the run, how he was finally captured in Arizona by the marshals, and he was extradited. There is an email, though, to that organization. And as Remote put on the website, I suggest anybody that has been impacted by Mike to send a correspondence to them. And I'm going to do that tomorrow. Because when you see something like that, you say, oh, wow, he robbed it. No. There's so much more to who he is. So much more that's horrible about him. And you never know with telling the truth about somebody and putting it out there, how that might affect, other things. Could it come back to bite somebody? Yeah, it could. Because if this news organization decides to go ahead and do something like that, then now all of a sudden, they may not be able to find, jurors that haven't heard about it or heard about him. So, but I think that's important. It's about time the people affected by him negatively have their voice and don't have to worry about, don't have to worry about him coming back and calling a family member or taking a piss on one of your family members' graves. I mean,
Well,
um,
can I say something else though that's kind of related to him that I haven't gotten a chance to even tell you about?
yes.
So, Spread Love has still been going all around the app, following me around into live streams almost every single day
She's a
and
weirdo.
trying to harass me, and she's harassing the content creators, the hosts of the lives that I've been in. A few weeks ago, I was in La La Loopsy live, and she does awareness on a scammer beggar named Kayla Wisner. And I was in the box, and we were discussing things that were going on with Kayla because Kayla um, scammed I believe a mother with some young children, that has, kids to take care of herself, but scammed her out of $2,000 for a court case, supposedly, for an attorney for a court case that is not even happening. Okay. And so we were discussing that. It was a serious situation. And there's lots of other people that have gotten scammed by her and are upset for large amounts of money. And, Spread Love came in there trying to harass me in this live stream. And then she posted like a picture of La La Loopsy on there and said, "Oh, like ScamSlam is in your live stream. Like, are you aware that you have a P3DO sympathizer in your box?" Like, and then I was interacting with Valerie, who is a person that Zev and Nick, she was friends with him in real life, and over a period of 6 years, he scammed her out of $40,000 that he never paid her back. Okay,
Yeah.
he promised to pay all this back and stuff. And so we were discussing it because, again, it's a very serious thing. He owes her a lot of money, and he's scamming people every day out of money. We were in there discussing that. She went in and took pictures of Valerie. She went and found Valerie's Facebook. She posted a picture of Valerie and her father, Valerie and her friends, like all this stuff, and was trying to say that Valerie said the R slur, which she did not, and she was calling me a P3DO sympathizer. Like, she posted like 3 videos about Valerie just because I was in her box trying to help her.
Well,
Yes, that's Zev Pro. That's who did that. And then, for the past 2 nights, she has gone into Terrible Decision 1's live streams where we were trying to get justice for Chico, the dog that was unalive by Jill Miller 18. We were trying to coordinate things with law enforcement. I've been in contact with them. I got an email from the chief of police yesterday. Okay. We were coordinating things with OG Ghetto Rescue Gal.
Yeah.
The one night we were literally up all night long into the next day. We have been trying to get videos put out, videos posted, information to the police, you name it. And she came into the live stream under 3 different accounts 2 nights ago, and then under another account last night. And she's in there harassing me, saying that I don't care about men's mental health, and I don't care, and I was the one harassing Florida Man, and all this ridiculous stuff. And of course, she posted a clip today, which I actually enjoy the clip that she posted because it's showing. I called her out. Last night I called her out. I said, "You know what? You are actually here trying to derail what we are doing, which is trying to get justice for this dog that was unalive by this lady, and you're here trying to derail it." And
in a vicious way, by the way.
Yes, absolutely, in a violent way. She Spread Love replied, "Well, I called the police myself." Okay, great. If you called the police yourself, but now you're still here derailing our efforts. Did you get the videos together? Were you working with a whole group to try to actually get something to happen? And actually, I encourage people not to keep calling right now because they are investigating it. I got confirmation.
They got it. They got it.
They don't want to keep getting called because they've been inundated with calls and emails and messages. The chief of police emailed me yesterday afternoon. He thanked me for sending my videos, which prove what really happened, because she was trying to claim like a self-defense type of thing.
Yeah.
And the videos prove otherwise. They have the videos. They have access to my YouTube. They have my name. They have my real phone number if they need any other video evidence. And they thanked me. They said they appreciate it. They said that animal control and other investigators are actively investigating it. So, but yeah, Spread Love is doing nothing but going into live streams where I'm trying to do positive things on this app. And that's what I told her. And she's trying to derail them. That's
Listen,
what she's doing.
my thoughts on Spread Love is this, okay? I don't even. She is irrelevant. She before Florida Man left, he couldn't stand her anymore. She doesn't have a place to land really much anymore. I think she's at a point where people semi-tolerate her. They know the shit that she's done on the app. She's irrelevant. She had been obsessed with Mike, I feel. The videos she's making are tedious. They're lies. Everybody knows the information that she puts out is not accurate, and she's doing it to rage bait people. And I just choose not even to, respond to the videos anymore because not only do normal people that have known about her for years now and her behavior on here, not only have we never liked this person, but even the people she used to sit with don't care for her anymore. It's irrelevant. The only thing you can do with her, because she does have 1 million accounts, is just block her all the time.
Well, that's what I said. I mean, but I was upset that Valerie didn't even know who Spread Love was.
Right.
She had no clue. She's not in awareness, right? She's a victim of a scam, of a scammer. And we were discussing that, plus, she was talking about, we were having a discussion about other personal things. We were not talking about Florida Man. We were not talking about, you know what I mean? We weren't these are not, we were talking
She's inserting herself in places she doesn't need to be.
Yes. And then posting pictures of her and her dad and her and her friends. She's like, who the hell is this freaking weirdo? Why would she be posting pictures of me and my dad and my friends and what? And
because that's what she does. She wants to anger you on a level that she thinks that she can hit a nerve.
And it's not angering. It just makes her look like a psycho. Valerie and all of her friends are like, who the hell is this psycho lady?
Right. I have to say, I was really hopeful that 2 or 3 months ago, when MJ became aware of some of the stuff going on, she had made a comment about she was going to be able to get Spread Love off the app because she had some connections, she had some ins, and she said that she was going to be able to get her off the app within a couple of days. I'm not sure what happened to that. I was really hoping that what she said she was going to be able to do, she was going to be able to do. But I've seen her accounts have been getting taken down, and I think that has more to do with supporters of you and I than it does with anybody else, because I know based on Discord, when she puts videos up that are defamatory to you or I, just vile and disgusting, I know that there's people that support us that report them to TikTok because they've said it. So, I've kind of been able to watch the process go in terms of when these accounts are being taken down. I hope if she can do it, she does it, because I think that would make a huge difference on this app, because she is just one step lower than Florida Man, in my opinion. And we see how nice it is, without Mike being around and spouting his trash. But getting Spread Love off would be an amazing accomplishment. And you know, as I said, she's really irrelevant, and I think she's just trying to stay relevant, and
Oh
it's
yeah,
not.
she. If you look at the three, there's three main accounts that she has her posts on right now. There's hardly any followers on there, like 1 or 200 followers or something. Like there's hardly anybody even seeing any of her content. But still, yeah, I do look at it every now and then, and I'll go on there and whether it's a video about me or you, whoever, like it doesn't even matter. I pretty much report everything, and
You know,
you know,
the only thing that I would say, and I would put out there, is if anybody knows the true identity of that person, let Scammer I know, because I've recently had to deal with something like that. And there are absolutely legal things you can do against these people that are continuing it. So, let Scammer I know, and we'll take it from there, because it's not like we don't have the proof of what she's been doing. So, and I'm not talking about anything other than doing things that are above the law, and getting getting it to the people that need to be given the information in order to see if there's something legally that can be done about that account and about the person. It's crazy.
yeah.
I don't think Retina's in here anymore, is she? I'm sure she left because she's working. Retina, if you are in here, I want to talk about another instance of what the F happens when you lie about something, and how it continues, and it definitely hurts people. I don't think she's in here. So I can tell the story because I'm aware of what happened. So with Retina, Bougie put out information saying that Retina, and I think she also named Holly Mae, contacted her daughter's abuser. And if you're not aware of it, Bougie, has put it out. She put it out last year about her daughter's relationship with somebody, and it was a DV situation. So Bougie was on a live, and I believe Diagnosis has it on her page, where Bougie made the comments that because of the fact that Retina and again, I'm not sure about the Holly Mae thing, but Retina was definitely named, that because they contacted her daughter's abuser, that her daughter was injured. Now, she didn't say what happened, but she made reference to the fact that it was a bad situation. And that somebody was going to be pressing charges against Retina. God, we haven't heard that ever. I've never heard it. I've never heard, oh, I'm going to sue you. And lo and behold, what happens is that one of the most important pieces of information when Bougie's daughter was in that live was that she cleared that up and said, no, nothing happened. Nobody contacted anybody. My mom was lying. So again, another lie that's put out there in the universe that people clamp onto. And then for how long were they being accused of contacting somebody's DV abuser? And because of that, they were injured in the process, or, something bad happened to them. Again, the bullshit lies have got to stop, because it's a continuation of a story that is fake. And that fake story will follow a creator around, and every so often the seas rise and the skies get dark with storms and all this information comes out again. And then these people have to deal with it again, saying it never happened. No, it's got to stop. It's got to stop. And you could hear the relief in their voices when the daughter admitted that, it wasn't her, it never happened, and her mother had lied about it. So it's pretty crazy shit. Pretty crazy shit. So for those of you, if you came in late, I am numb in my mouth. That's why I'm talking funny. But more importantly, Mr. Michael Kinney had a court appearance today, and he was trying to get his bond lowered. Right now, it's at $315,000, and it was denied immediately. So it looks like he's going to be staying in there until trial time. This is something that we've all been saying this whole time. We were saying that he's not going to get out on bail or bond. We have been saying eventually he's going to get arrested and he's going to be in for a while. And so far we're 100% on that. So it's just, when's the trial? He pled not guilty, yes. According to what I heard, his attorney put in a plea for him, and he says that he's not guilty. Next court date is April 29th, 2026. So, it's going to be another month that he's in there until his next court appearance for it. And again, this is on him. He did the crime. I mean, it's pretty clear by the videos and all the videos of him in his store, in a store down in Indiana, and with his van and the containers and all that. I mean, I don't know how he thinks he might be able to talk his way out of it. I don't know how somebody can think that they have information that's going to help him in his defense. And let's not forget, even though he's in prison right now in Florida, he still has warrants that are out for his arrest. In, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Alabama? I think those are the 3 states. So, he's got more explaining.
I don't think it's New Jersey.
I thought it was New Jersey. So, Pennsylvania, Alabama, I know. And what was the other one? Tennessee? I don't know about Tennessee. I mean, I know who Pennsylvania is. I know who Alabama is. Tennessee. Huh. So yeah, he's got some he's going to be spending some time, and as I said, you know what? And we say this all the time. I've said this with Jen. I've said this about Sean. Your past bad actions are going to dictate your future. And the only person that Mike has to blame for this is himself. And anybody that still supports him, that's vocal about it, like Snark, I don't get it. I don't. Good for her. Do your thing, girl. And anybody else, willing to send money to him, do your things. I don't give a shit. That doesn't bother anybody on the outside.
I wish they would think, if they ended up in that situation, would he be standing up for them? And
no.
I know.
No.
But they should be asking themselves that question. Would he stand up for me and defend me and try to get my bail reduced and try to send me money and do all these things?
They some of those people that support him don't believe in clarifying questions, asking clarifying questions. Because if they did, and if they used some of their critical thinking skills, they would not be supporting him anymore. It's as simple as that. He has pretty much said he doesn't give a shit about his followers. I mean, didn't he call them all rackheads? And
Yeah,
said that he
multiple
doesn't give a
times.
shit about them. You
Yeah.
know? Whatever.
And they cheered for it.
Yep.
Wild.
Yep. There it is. You know, I'm glad. I'll tell you, I didn't expect to hear a decision about his bond until later today, and I was planning on going live tonight and putting that information out there. So the decision came quick. I mean, I think his hearing time was at 1:30, and we found out about it around 2.
Yep, it was quick.
You know, sucks to suck. No bond. No. It didn't get lowered. 151 was a Zoom, and we found out about it about a half hour ago. 51 seconds. Hey, Scam, I got a question for you. I got a question for people in the chat here. Is anybody still gloating? Because I am.
Oh, I'm absolutely gloating.
And I'll be making like a video probably once a week about the fact that I'm still gloating. I will.
And Spread Love was saying in the chat in that live last night something about I posted proof of what you and Amy did. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And then she was like, you have been the one harassing Florida Man. I said, no. She says, I have all the evidence. I'm like,
Of
what
course.
evidence?
Of course.
I'm like, you're the one that keeps showing up in every single live stream that I'm in. Like, and then I said, guess what? I have all the evidence of what he did, and it's on file at the Knox County Courthouse in Indiana on a flash drive.
Listen,
so
anybody who says that they have proof, those are the people that never show it. Okay? Spread has been saying that she has proof about X, Y, and Z and never shows any proof. I'm still waiting for Monster because she made that video last week saying that she has all the proof that Florida Man had on me, which is incredible because Florida Man never showed any proof of anything. So I'm still waiting for Monster to show that. Whenever people say they have proof and they can't show it right then and there, that means that either A, they don't have it, or B, what they have is bullshit and they know it.
well, yesterday that Julie Boo Bear scammer was saying that she was repeating the lie from Renee, saying that I scammed someone out of 60,000.
Oh, now it's up to 60?
Yes.
Now?
Wait, and there's more added to it. Okay, so I scammed someone out of $60,000, but I didn't go to jail for it because I scammed someone else out of $60,000 to pay the original person back.
Held for trial. Held for trial, officially revoked.
So, and people were asking Julie for proof, and she says, well, I have the proof, but I'm not going to show it.
Oh, I love that. That's just like with the guy that I just went up to visit his police up in Massachusetts. I mean, for how long was he saying, oh, I have proof, I just don't need to show it? Well, you know what? He has no proof because I didn't do anything to him. And the accusations and the allegations he made were just that. There is no proof with it. So, again, and how long have we been saying that?
And guess whose account's on private now?
Yep. Well, good for him, So, that it's been a good month. For me, it's been a great month, Been a great month. 2 down. 2-0. 2-0 in the scammy column. I'm good with that. I'm good with that. Next, I would like to see Spread Love go off into the sunset, still dreaming about Florida man, even though he can't stand her, right off in the sunset by herself, spend her golden years, being cranky, on her own. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So,
Oh, really, Kool-Aid? Huh. Well, his account's on private.
good for him. Good for him. You know? So, but there's only I don't even want to talk about that. 15-day window is open for the defense's discovery, FYI, everyone. Oh, okay. With this whole thing with him down there, and people contacting the prosecution and all that, we can send our stories about him. We absolutely can. But you've got to remember that our stories do not have an impact on this case. This case is between Swamp Collectibles and the state of Florida versus Michael Kinney. We can give them background on him, but what we tell them is not going to be admissible in court, obviously. But in the long run, I think it would help, because when these other states try to, if they're going to extradite him or bring him there, they will have all the files from Florida, and they will have all the correspondences that we've sent. And when they start looking at those, because the two cases that I officially can speak on, because I know about it, in Alabama and in Pennsylvania, deal with stalking and harassment on social media, and all of those stories and incidences that we put out there to Florida can be used in the other cases. I think. Legally, I don't know that, but it can absolutely show a pattern. So, like I said, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put something together tomorrow and get it to that media outlet, just to give them a little bit of a background on what I have experienced, and how the theft at Swamped was something that I was that myself and a number of other people were able to see everything transpire, with him, with the robbery happening, and then all of a sudden, he's in halfway across the country, 2/3 across the country, and he has those same items. I mean, we saw it all happen. Many of us were trying to locate him. If I told you how many times people reached out to one of us and said, I can find him, I can find his, I can track his phone, I can do X, Y, and Z. And these people were legitimate, what they said were legitimate people. And none of them came through. I mean, there were so many times where we thought that we had him nailed, and we didn't. And none of us have been claiming that we're the reason why he's incarcerated now. That's not us. Somebody absolutely blew the whistle on him. I don't know if it's ever going to come out, but I do believe that somebody that was close to him blew the whistle. Because how can you find, it's like finding a needle in a haystack, and this haystack is as large as the United States. Um, we'll never find out though. I
But
don't think.
Scammy, yeah, we are not responsible for him being caught, but I mean,
No.
we did help, put pressure on to maybe do that. We spread awareness about it. I mean, it's very possible that the bolo somehow got into the hands of just the right person.
It
Um,
could be, but
and you know what? Even though we're not responsible, how many times did I keep telling you that he was in Phoenix, no matter how many times people tried to give us other locations?
we were given Florida, we were given
Uh,
Virginia,
I kept saying
we were
Phoenix.
given upstate New York. You had come up with Arizona
Hmm.
early on. There were a lot of locations we were given. And who knows? But I'm not taking credit for anything because we don't know.
Right.
We don't know if we impacted, and I'm not the type of person to pat myself on the back for something that I don't know. But the bottom line is it all worked out, in the end. Hold on. Okay. Um, it all worked out in the end. So his bond is revoked. It wasn't lowered, and he's staying in there until his trial. Right, TV remote. Absolutely, absolutely. So, um, that's really all I have. I mean, is there anything you want to put out, Scam? I've got some stuff. I gotta lay some tile. So I'm gonna get to work on that. But if there's anybody, is there anything you want to talk about? Anybody in the chat? Do you have any questions?
No, I mean,
That
I'm
you
just
can answer?
I've been putting a lot of effort into Jill Miller,
Yeah.
um and the dog
Oh,
situation, and also what's his name? Colton Lexus is back. And I haven't gotten a lot of time to watch his live streams. He had deactivated his account, but it only lasted for a day or two, and he did come back on live yesterday, so I'm still trying to get caught up on a lot of that as well. Yeah, I know. Terrible Decision wants me in their live. I just messaged them because they've been covering Jill Miller.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, Tracy. Congratulations on your pregnancy. That's a blessed event. Congrats.
All right. I'm gonna drop. Apparently, there's some kind of breaking news about Jill, so I'm
Okay.
winding another live.
Thanks, Scam.
Thank you.
Take care. Thanks. And Tracy's not pregnant, by the way. I just like to throw shit out there like that, just to because that's what you do. That's what you do to friends. I have some Gracious Lou and JNL. Are you interested in coming up? Oh, she's having twins. Excellent. I have the request from those two people. Peps, we're gonna need a meme. By the way, we're gonna need a meme in Discord when you get a chance, and it has to be titled "Big Hair, Big Belly." Also, Pep, it has been requested that I get a new logo for the spring and summer, if that's okay. Something whimsical, something. What if a mother and daughter's agreement started over a daughter turning a friend in? Huh? Never know. You never know. Does Tracy want to get pregnant? No. You should name all your triplets after me. Oh, she's having triplets. I didn't even know that. No, guys, Tracy's not pregnant, just so you know. Is the Discord going to be closed permanently? It's tough because I'm one of these people that once I'm burned, I have a very hard time trusting people again. And, it was somebody in there was taking screenshots. After that incident, there were people that, it started with mods, we started letting people in that were in there a lot that had been chatting. Because believe it or not, a lot of the chat has nothing to do with Discord, it really doesn't. And there's a group in there right now that I feel very comfortable with. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I mean, I know the Discord the way it is now, I don't want to change that. I mean, maybe we start another Discord to let other people in, to let anybody in, and, but that's something that's going to be up to my mods. That's going to be, that's going to be decisions that I'm going to talk to with other people, It is. I mean, Discord is not really, it's not a huge thing. Really in there, what it's turned into is just talking about stuff. And, I wouldn't be as talkative if it was a Discord with a lot of people that I didn't know, So that's kind of where we are now. I keep flip-flopping on what I want to do with it. I can't even say flip-flop. Still numb. I keep flip-flopping on what I want to do, we'll see, maybe in the future, but right now I'm pretty comfortable with it. So, any other questions, comments? Okay, well, listen, guys, thanks for coming in today. Thanks for spending part of your day with me and when Scam was here. I appreciate that. Thank you to my mods, as usual, for doing your thing. And thank you to all the people that came in today to listen and to support. And thank you for your gifts. I'm going to tell you, I would say probably tonight, tomorrow morning, I will be posting the donation that is going to that Beagle organization that just rescued a bunch of beagles from medical testing. I got money from T. I got money from a private donor. I'm using some of the gift money that I've received since I've been back on here. And I'm kicking in some of my own money too. So we're probably looking at $250 donation to the organization based on the Family Feud night and all that stuff. So anybody that's in here that wants to put a Family Feud group together, please reach out to me, because I'm sure my mods would like to kick people's asses again, They would. They're on a roll now. They won a game. So, we can do one Thursday or Friday if anybody's interested. Get a group together. I think four is a good number to do that. And, let's have some fun again, right? So, but other than that, I'm going to get to work in here. My wife comes home in about a half hour, and I want to be doing this so it looks like I've been doing something all day. That's the trick, by the way. There's a meeting last night. If he has the one today, you know what? What is it? Is it named Annabelle? I don't think it's going to happen because the original time that we saw Mike in court in Arizona, that was in Maricopa County, and Maricopa County broadcasts those to the public all the time, and Alachua does not do that. So, that's not going to happen. The only way that you're going to see when he goes to trial and all that is, if people are there to, go on every night, let's say, and give an update of what's happened in court during the day. Because said person might be in the gallery taking notes the whole time. And then might possibly go live every evening with an update on what has happened in court. So, have a wonderful afternoon and evening, everybody. Take care of yourselves. Yeah, remote, listen, I figure you and I, if I head down there, you and I will do a show every night. That's what I think. Give the people what they want, man. That's what I say. We're doing lunch, we're doing dinner, we're going to be doing a lot of things. We're going to do a little limbo, dance competition. We're going to get our beach bods out in the water, all that stuff. Have a good one, guys. Take care. And we're going to get our beach. Have a good one, guys.